Hey YouTube, out on a bike ride at my normal stopping place. It's early in the season. I couldn't get Karen to come out with me. She is pretty depressed about our little doggy dying, so she's at home, actually probably sleeping. But I had to get out of the house. It's pretty empty there without her. So the bike has been acting up. It doesn't want to shift down very fast. It's kind of pausing. So there's a couple adjustments. One's here on the derailleur, and there's another barrel for the adjustment for the trigger shifter up here. So if you can see it, this is to use on the trail, and you should do most of your adjustment here on this barrel. So since it's shifting slow, I need I need the cable to be a little longer, so I have to turn it in a quarter turn. It doesn't matter how the bike is built or who it's made by. It's pretty much the same thing. If it's slow, you lengthen the cable. Now, as you can see, this cable has a blue tinge on it because it's treated. This is kind of the difference between the electric bike I have and this one. Is the cables are a whole lot better quality. Otherwise, they would, with all that cable housing that goes through the bike all the way up, exits out and goes up to the shifter, it wouldn't shift worth of beans. So it's a simple adjustment. Turn it in, make the cable shorter if it's shifting slow up, make it longer if it's shifting slow down. That's kind of the ins and outs. You have a couple of screws here, but three. This is called the B-pillar screw, and it's used to adjust the derailleur tension this way. These are the limit screws, and they should be marked high and low, and it keeps the chain from shifting into the dropout or the chain protector back here. This is a 9-speed bike. I think it goes 11 to 36 is the chain ring size. The front one is 42, maybe. I don't know. I've never had it off to count teeth. I could go on their Trek's website and look it up, but in this case, I don't think it would really matter in what I'm talking about. So the chain is getting kind of dirty. It needs to be clean. There's the power link. If you guys are wondering, that's if you see on a bike, Amazon or wherever you buy your parts, if it says power link, that's what it means. What the power link is you can take the chain apart if you need to clean it. Say you want to take it off and clean it in a container. It's pretty easy to do with the power link. It doesn't require any tools. Maybe at some point I'll do a video on how you take that apart, but I'm sure you can figure it out if you want. They make a tool to do it if you need it. I'm sure Amazon sells it, but it is not a typical chain tool like most of your, no, it's a pair of pliers that actually squeezes the link together and pushes that slide plate apart so you can take the chain apart. The bike is at 500 miles, and that'll be my first adjustment I've done to the bike, other than may spread the brake pads out a little bit farther. The brakes are resin pads, whereas the electric, they are, oh, let me turn you around. You guys seen the bike enough time. The electrics are semi-metallic. These are resin. These rotors, you could not use semi-metallic pads on. They're softer, so they would wear out much quicker and probably warp from the heat. It's been fairly nice out. It was 62 degrees earlier. Now it's down in the 50s. It's gotten quite a bit cooler, like 5-6 degrees in the last couple hours, so I decided I better get out here and take my ride. Yeah, I got a upcoming video on how to clean the chain. The electric doesn't need it yet. I've only ridden it in the last 8 months, maybe twice. It's just sitting in the garage waiting for me to go on start RVing, which I assume will be soon. I hope to get out and do some traveling around the country. But I don't know. It's really up in the air. So much happening. I'm still waiting for so many answers on things that it's kind of restricted how far we can go. We've basically only traveled in Michigan up the upper UP, which there's some videos of that up there near the falls and some of the state parks up there. There's a few people out on the bike trail today. I've seen 2 electric bikes. What else can we talk about? So, 500-mile review. The bike has needed nothing, basically. I haven't even had to put air in the tire since last year. Lube the chain. I'm using strictly dry lube on this one. On the electric, I used mainly wet lube, which was a dedicated Teflon spray. Nose is leaking today. It works. Chain lube is such a personal choice, and it really doesn't matter what you use. They all protect the chain similarly and don't really make a difference in longevity either. So keep that in mind. Spend whatever's cheapest for you. Oh, that's a big bird. It was just came back behind me. I seen it in the camera. Some kind of hawk. The fenders, the front fender rattles a little bit. The headlights work fairly well. The bike shuts off after 10 minutes, just like the electric. Power-wise, I can go much faster on this bike because of 2 things. This is a mid-drive motor, and it provides more torque than the electric does. Usable torque, even though it's only rated at 40 pounds. 40 newton pounds, I think it is. 40 pounds of torque, either way. And I don't think it's newton meters. I think it's torque. 40 pounds of torque. Newton meters would be less. Other than that, we haven't done anything to either bike. The chains do protect you from getting dirty better than the ones on the electric, and that's because they go down farther the wheel, and it keeps you from getting mud flinged up all over you. Tires, 500 miles, and if they've shown anywhere, I don't really see anywhere on the tires, whereas the electric was already half gone by the time I got 500 miles on them, so there's a difference. And that's part of the reason we bought this bike in the first place, was because of how much it cost to maintain the electric one. And tires was much more expensive. $70 for a good tire that turned out not to be any better in longevity than the $35 one that came on the bike originally. And riding around the house, this just makes more sense. And range anxiety, I don't have it with this bike, because if I kill the battery, there's not much difference in riding it home. Yes, there's more resistance because you're turning a motor that isn't providing any assistance, but it doesn't feel like I'm towing an anchor behind me. With the electric, if I ran out of power, I doubt I could pedal it home, just because of my physical limitations. And if I did, it would be a long, painful exercise. So that's part of the reason. Range-wise, this one, it's already turned off since I've been out here. Ouch. Keep getting shocked. Let's see what it says range-wise. It's off. We'll turn it to echo. And let's see I'll turn it around, show you what it. So echo says it's got 41 miles of range. That's the lowest setting. Tour, which is what I ride in most of the time, saying 23. Sport, 18. And turbo, 16. So turbo is the, let's talk about the settings. I'll turn you back around. So echo is 40% assistance. That means it'll provide 40% of whatever you're pedaling as assistance. Tour is 100%. Sport is, what, it is like 200%. And turbo is 250% assistance. So turbo is wide open. The bike kind of cuts power at 19.8 miles an hour, which I think is roughly 32 kilometers an hour. So it's set to whatever European standard is. I have to get a place to hold this phone where I'm not shaking it all over the place. So it's set to whatever the European standards are for speed, not US standards. So the turbo, you'll run out of, you won't run out of pedal. Like the electric, most people complain about ghost pedaling, and with the there is no ghost pedaling. You won't run out of gear. Even though the electric is running a 53 by 14 on the back, or the 2.0 is 53 or 54, and the 1.0 is 52 by 14 stock, and you can run out of gear. But that's not because of the gearing, that's because of the wheel size. As you go lower in wheel size, it plays an important role in the gearing. So this has a 29-inch or a 700C wheel size, which is roughly, diameter wise, it looks like it's about twice the size of the electric, but it makes a difference. So I've never even come close to running out of gear. I very seldom put it in ninth gear, which is the 11th tooth. So usually 7th or 8th. Gears play an important part of this bike because of the way the assistance works. You have to be in the proper gear for going up a hill. Otherwise, you're going to you're going to end up not making it because of not having enough power to do it. Electric's the same way. It's limited to how much you can, how big of a hill it will climb. We have hills in this area that it can't climb reasonably. You're going to pedal, or either that or you're going to get off and push it. With me on it anyway. I imagine if I weighed 150 pounds, there wouldn't be a hill in this area that it wouldn't conquer. But so weight plays an important role. I'm under 300 pounds right now. I think I'm 297. So I gained a little weight this winter, which is typical. And I already have lost a lot of weight, and I can't contribute it to bike riding. Lifestyle change, I would say, is what's contributing to it. So we've been trying to get out and riding the electric so that we're not just wasting battery life, just sitting in a garage somewhere, exercising that battery. Lithium batteries do need a little exercise, or they end up dying fairly quickly. So keep that in mind. If you're not going to ride the bike, you can only store it for so many years before it will die permanently. So, and then there is a way to revive them, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So I should get home. At least I ain't a bawling mess like I have been every time I tried to talk about our dog, Valentine. You know, it's kind of hard to describe. everybody experiences loss differently, and how they deal with their pet's loss differently. Some go out and get another pet, or however they deal with it. None of them are right, none of them are wrong. Some people treat pets just like they are. They're pets, they're a companion. When it's their time, and they look forward to the next one. But I'm telling you, once in a blue moon, there's a special one. We've had two extremely special dogs. Valentine, it was like she knew what we were thinking before we thought it. She was connected to both of us, but I'm telling you, Karen was her favorite, without a doubt. And it wasn't always that way. For years, I was her favorite, but then when Karen stopped working and started staying home with her all the time, it quickly changed. If Karen left the room and she didn't know it, when she woke up and went looking, she panicked. She was like, where is she? And it was on. She wasn't going to stop looking until she found her. Followed her to the bathroom and sit outside the bathroom and waited for her to come back, go back to wherever she was. She said, last night she said, I don't know how I'm going to find the bathroom without her. So, it's going to take Karen a long time to get over her, if she ever does. The pain that she's feeling right now she said, is worse than any human that she's ever lost. And she's lost both her parents. She said that it's put her in, she feels more loss. Well, you got to understand too, when you have a pet that sits next to you day in, day out for 13 years, it becomes an important part of your life. They don't say anything. They don't want anything. They're happy when you give them anything. Unlike us humans, we always want. I mean, she wanted to eat and she wanted to drink, but those are give-me's. She got whatever she wanted. At times, we spent more on food for her than we spent on ourselves. That's no kidding. If she liked a treat, it didn't matter what the cost was, she was going to have that treat. So, now that I've talked about our bike, our dog, and life in general, I hope you all have a great day. Get out and ride your bike. Don't let the weather stop you. It looks like it's going to rain, but a little rain ain't going to hurt you at all. Matter of fact, it may make you grow as a person. So, ride your bike. Enjoy your life. I hope you all have a great day.